Most people don't even realize they're sabotaging their future with the habits they repeat every day. It's uncomfortable to hear. Staying broke is often less about bad luck and more about bad patterns. The truth is, wealth is a result of behavior, and so is poverty. We asked self-made millionaires to break down the differences. Here are 10 things poor people do that the rich simply don't. 1. Poor people trade time for money. The rich people trade money for time. The poor believe that working more hours is the solution to financial freedom. They get stuck in a cycle, and while there's honor in hard work, there's a cap to how much time you can trade. Rich people understand that time is the most valuable asset, so they build leverage, systems, businesses, and investments that earn without their constant presence. They pay others to do what doesn't require their unique skills. They automate, delegate, and scale. Let's say a poor person works 10 hours a day doing everything themselves, cleaning, working overtime to survive. A rich person instead spends time building something once: product, an online course, a real estate portfolio that continues to pay them over and over. They would rather earn passively while sleeping than manually while sweating. The difference is this: one sees time as a period to waste, while the other sees it as a period to invest. 2. Poor people prioritize looking rich. The rich people prioritize being rich. There's a term for this: the millionaire next door effect. Most real millionaires don't look rich at all. They drive practical cars, wear simple clothes, and live in homes that don't scream wealth. Meanwhile, those struggling financially often focus on appearances, buying luxury brands, financing new iPhones, and constantly upgrading to keep up with the Joneses. Because poor people associate symbols of wealth with actual wealth, it becomes more important to appear successful than to actually build success. But real wealth isn't about image. It's about assets, freedom, and peace of mind. The rich play the invisible game. They understand that flashy spending drains capital that could be used to grow. Every $500 spent on shoes is $500 not invested in stocks, real estate, or a business. Here's the bottom line: the poor spend to impress while the rich invest for freedom. 3. Poor people consume more than they create. The rich people create more than they consume. We live in a world of endless consumption: YouTube, Netflix, TikTok, Instagram, ads, shopping, streaming. And poor people often fall into a loop of consuming entertainment, news, opinions, and products without creating anything of lasting value. The rich do the opposite. They are creators first. Content, companies, intellectual property, services. They ask, what can I produce that solves a problem? This doesn't mean they don't consume, they do, but with purpose. They consume to learn, to find opportunities, to spot trends. Then they act. They create value in the marketplace, and in return, they're rewarded. The harsh truth is, in today's world, if you're not producing something — content, knowledge, services, products — you're likely just helping make someone else rich. Don't just be a consumer of wealth, be a creator of it. 4. Poor people avoid talking about money. The rich people study it relentlessly. Many people are raised to believe money is taboo. Don't talk about salaries, don't ask about finances, don't learn how taxes work. Generations of people completely blind to the mechanics of money. The rich treat money like a language, and they speak it fluently. They understand how interest works, what inflation does to purchasing power, how to read a balance sheet, how to structure an investment, and how taxes affect wealth. They talk about money openly. They ask mentors, they read books, they hire accountants, they join mastermind groups. Meanwhile, poor people often fear money. They associate it with stress, guilt, or greed. But ignorance is not innocence. It's expensive. If you don't understand how money works, someone else will use that against you. Financial literacy isn't optional. It's the foundation of freedom. 5. Poor people rely on one source of income. The rich people build multiple streams. Let's imagine this: a poor person has one job. If that job disappears, so does their entire financial life. It's risky. Rich people never rely on one paycheck. They understand that real security comes from diversification. They build income streams, investments, side businesses, dividend-paying stocks, rental properties, digital products. When one income source dips, the others catch the slack. That's how they stay calm during crises, because they've built resilience into their financial system. 6. Poor people think short-term. The rich people think long-term. This is one of the biggest mindset differences. Poor people often live for the weekend, the next paycheck, the next bonus. Every decision is about now. What feels good today? What's easiest right now? But wealth demands delayed gratification. Rich people are willing to sacrifice comfort today for freedom tomorrow. They invest when it's boring. They save when it's hard. They build slowly so they can live freely. This long-term thinking applies to everything: relationships, investments, health, reputation. They play the 10-year game while others chase 10-second dopamine hits. If you can train your brain to think beyond this month, this year, this job, you've already separated yourself from 90% of people. 7. Poor people blame. The rich people take responsibility. Blame is easy. It feels good to point the finger at the government, at your upbringing, at the economy, at bad luck, but blame traps you. It gives away your power. power. Rich people almost universally take extreme ownership. They believe everything is their responsibility even when it's not their fault. Because when you believe it's your job to fix it, you take action. Responsibility is a mindset. No one is coming to save me. It's on me. That's where power comes from. That's where freedom starts. If you want to be rich, stop looking for someone to rescue you. Start building your own ladder. 8. Poor people don't invest. The rich people invest relentlessly. The poor often see investing as risky or complicated. They worry about losing money, so instead they keep it in savings accounts earning less than inflation. Or worse, they spend it on liabilities. Rich people invest early, often and consistently. They understand the time value of money, that the earlier you start, the more powerful compound growth becomes. They don't wait for the perfect moment. They don't chase the hottest stock. They invest with discipline into index funds, real estate, startups, personal development. They also invest in themselves, mentors, books, courses, masterminds, health, mindset, because they know that their mind is their greatest asset. If your money isn't growing, it's shrinking. 9. Poor people surround themselves with negative energy. The rich people curate their environment. We all become like the people we spend time with. Poor people often surround themselves with complainers, victims, gossipers, people who reinforce limitation. Rich people intentionally curate their circle. They choose mentors who challenge them, friends who push them, environments that demand growth. They attend seminars, join growth-focused communities, and spend time with those more successful because they know energy is contagious, and who you become depends on who you're around. 10. Poor people work for money. The rich people make money work for them. At the root of it all, this is the biggest mindset shift. Poor people believe money is earned through labor. The rich believe money is earned through value creation and capital deployment. They put their money into assets that multiply. They build systems that make money work. Real estate portfolios, digital products, stocks, businesses. They treat money like an employee. Here's $1,000. Go bring back $1,100. Then they repeat the process. Over time, the money works harder than they do. It's the difference between digging ditches and owning the land the ditch is on. These aren't just habits, they're choices. And those choices compound over time, either into wealth or into struggle. Every rich person you admire once stood where you are now. What changed? Their thinking, their behavior, their environment. You don't need permission to start. All you need is the willingness to change one decision at a time. And remember, wealth isn't something you chase, it's something you build.